Yo, 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 what's up? GNT, we in the place to be. Today we have flipping burger, flipping robots. Amazon Alexa has bugs, and Magic Leap raises a whole bunch of money. Let's get into it.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Going back.
Yo, welcome to Black Hollywood Live. This is
Yeah.
Geek Nerd Tech, GNT. I'm your host, Akili Shine, joined by my brother, Ryan Hollins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Back again?
Hey, man, I can get used to this.
Yes, sir.
I can get used to
Yes,
this.
sir, man. Man, Talib Kweli, man, were you ever a fan?
This is a classic, bro. Like, you taking me
Classic.
back. This was an album, like, he was spitting bars, and it was like, y'all don't know about this dude, Talib. Like, he has a real message, and he's dope. He's got bars. You actually want to hear him.
Bars.
And then there's this other dude commenting, and he's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know?
100%, man. Talib used to be my favorite, man. When I used to do music back in the day, we opened up for him a few times, did some touring with him. But, man, back in those times, it was awesome, man. Early 2000s, just, man, music was dope. I love those times, man. What you gonna say?
What can we do to get you back?
Hey, man, you got a checkbook?
Really?
I
So
mean,
you don't love it
You
then?
asked me the question.
So you don't love it?
No, I do it for myself. I don't do it for you. If I do it for you, you gotta pay me.
So you do music still?
100%. You've been to the
don't
crib. You
believe
see the
that.
piano. You see the guitar.
What are you gonna just dump the piano and the guitar?
No, you see the operating system I got at the
Hasn't
house.
been used.
Hasn't
Of
been
course,
used.
you've had it
Really?
when you
Really?
used to use it.
Really?
You might, throw some chords
Put
if
that
somebody.
on something.
I haven't
All
seen
right
it.
then.
I haven't seen it. I get you produce
Hey,
your
man.
little beat, some beats sometimes
Did
when
you say
needed.
little?
You are what you need to be, and I respect that. But it's not about. That's not, to me. That's not music. It's
Bruh.
just I'm
Stay-
just being
stay-
dynamic.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, bro.
You can be dynamic, but you don't love
Just
music
shut up
no
and
more.
dribble.
Wow. Shut up and create.
I'll do that. I'll shut up and create.
Don't speak
Anywho.
about no social issues.
Anywho.
Don't have no opinion. Shut
Anywho.
up and be creative.
Speaking of a social issue, let's get right into
Oh
it.
my gosh.
So we talked about a few times, me and you offline, about censorship on social media platforms. So we talked about like the alt-right movement being shut down, their accounts being shut down on Twitter, and even like on other platforms like Facebook. There is one social media platform that is not as what am I trying to say? They're not really cracking down like they should be, and that is YouTube. There's this neo-Nazi group called Atom Waffen, and they are actually, a very racist organization. They've been known to have killed people, and they have their own YouTube channel. And YouTube is saying they're not going to shut them down. What do you think about this?
Am I surprised?
You should be.
Do I have
It's
a lot of-
YouTube.
Do I
It's
have a lot
Google.
of faith? Do I expect much out of these people? From a business aspect, they look at it and say, "Where do we draw the line?"
That's
No,
the
we're
question,
gonna
though.
we're not gonna let them kill people online, but you can express your opinion as long as they don't cross certain lines. They have a terms of service that they don't want to change.
Right.
If anything, they probably love the numbers and the controversy as long as it doesn't cross the terms of service, because I'm sure there are a lot of groups being brought on by them, inspired by them, and attacked by them. So if you're YouTube,
So you're not
man,
surprised. Where
it's-
do you stand, though? What should happen?
it shouldn't be on, bro. That's
Shouldn't
not
be.
even a question. There's no place. There's no tolerance for that. But if you're YouTube, that's how money driven that you are in this space, that you're not going to cut it off. They don't really want to dive into religion or money or race or sexuality or any of those things. They offer, free expression. And unfortunately, to me, that's no part of expression. But they're not going to cut it off unless if it crosses those terms of service.
So why do you think then? I mean, why do you think YouTube is taking this position versus like Facebook and Twitter, which are taking the completely opposite position? They're very like, hey, no, you're not finna disrupt our platform with all this hate speech and all this hate mongering. So terms and conditions, like, no, we're going to shut you down. So why is YouTube different though?
Money. They
So
don't want to lose
Twitter
money.
don't want money. Facebook don't want money.
They got it. They've got two different platforms. Two different social issues.
Explain.
You can get down to who the Google owner is. Who are these people? Because obviously, this may trickle down through another trickle down process. Zuckerberg's name is behind Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Directly. You can see him. You can question him.
It's a face to Facebook.
Yeah, Google is not necessarily face to face, and there's so many different entities within the corporation. So where you look at YouTube and you can't necessarily put that face directly to YouTube. Yes, they have owners, they have a group of owners, they have people backing them, a part of them, but it isn't Facebook is Zuckerberg. Instagram now is Zuckerberg. Those represent him. I don't even know who the Twitter owner is, but nonetheless, easier to find than what you have within YouTube.
So are you saying that because Facebook, as you mentioned, has a face to it, and we're able to identify Facebook with Zuckerberg, and because that Google doesn't as much, is the reason why they're more lenient on what people can say and do on their platform?
When you go and you ban somebody, you move somebody, you take a social stand, it has to come direct from a leader or a face, and there, like I said, a terms of service. It hasn't been a money hit. We're not boycotting YouTube. So other than that, they let the show roll on. And there's probably even more things like that are on Instagram, that are on YouTube, that probably really, really shouldn't be on, that they may not be fighting to take off.
What are your general thoughts on censorship, though? Like, do you believe, I mean, what does freedom of speech mean to you? Like, does anyone have the right to say whatever they want, wherever they want?
You don't, man. When you cross lines where you hurt people, when you cross lines of equality, of love, of forgiveness, of hate, of killing, shooting, of in death, they have no place in our society. And you have a societal, I don't even know, is that the right word? Did I say it right? Responsibility to your community, to your world, to the children that come after you. And to spread those messages of propaganda, I personally believe they have no space. But I'm not looking for much, bro, out of these corporations. I'm not expecting much. My hat's off goes out, and we have to appreciate those that do.
However, you still participate in these platforms. So in a way, you are complicit. I mean, because you are participating. Like, you have a YouTube account. You're on YouTube probably once a day. I mean, you're definitely on Instagram multiple times a day. Facebook. Like, so you are contributing to their success.
What they say is almost like, well, we breathe the same air, but you're not gonna not go to Chicago because there was a racist, or Indiana. You're not gonna go to Indiana because it's known for racist, and that doesn't express or say who they are. That's just a small part of that platform or that state or being. So yeah, in that sense, you may not boycott.
You're not gonna go to H&M and buy Chris clothing after what they just did with the campaign, are you? What's the difference?
They're more of a specific brand, but I'm not going to say my kid wouldn't wear clothes at all. And I think that's where these platforms feel that they have in entirety, unless if it's literally a criminal police matter, they're not going to step in.
For sure.
And I personally don't agree with it, but they think it's like it's this world. Yeah. It's this social world in which these things do actually act. So it's you can say that the police aren't banging their doors down, so YouTube is stepping in and saying that they're not going to.
Good take. I love it. I was just playing the advocate for you just to see what you thought.
No, you weren't. You seriously believe 99% of the stuff you say.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah. Stop it. Anywho, moving on. This is a really dope story. So we talk about net neutrality and how, the internet should be offered and be available for everyone. Speeds should be the same. It should be democratized. Everyone should have the same equal opportunity and access to the internet because it funnels our dreams and inspires us to do more. And so whole net neutrality being dismantled, and with your boy Trump again and the FCC shutting it down, dismantling the rules, like it's saying that now that these ISPs, these internet server providers, can determine what speed the consumer will get depending on where they are, what region they're in, or and so the state of Washington actually said, we'll be the first state to say that net neutrality is what will be the law of the land in our state. And I think that's pretty phenomenal. So moving past Obama when he enforced it and when he was president, moving past Trump dismantling it, Washington stepping up to the plate and saying, as a state, net neutrality will be a law in this land. What do you think about that? And do you think other states will follow suit?
Here it is, dog. Here it is, dog. And I feel real passionate.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna just hit you with some game right now because you need to wake the heck up.
Let's go.
Wake up to what's going on. If everybody has higher internet speeds, the local coffee shop, Joe, Ted, Andrea at the house, cousin, auntie, the school, we all make more money. We can communicate. We talk, Akili. We have our economy moving better. Okay? When you want to charge me for something like water that you need, that helps currency, that helps education, helps these things move, you slow yourself down. You get in your own way. So this is just common sense.
What's common sense?
That you should have net neutrality. Everybody should have access to the fastest internet speed possible.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Do you, I don't know if you hear what I'm saying. Do I need to break this down more?
I hear what you're saying, 'cause we're saying the same thing. The question to you is, do you think other states will follow suit? Or do you think that it will be a landscape where the ISPs win? That's what I'm asking you.
I'm in my bag. When you see that technological growth, when you see the homes selling, when you see the students at school advancing, when you see a better place in Washington trending upwards, right? Now California gets on board. Now
so you do
New
think
York gets on board.
It'll be a domino effect.
Yes.
Huh. Okay. So why do you think then, if it was that way, why do you think that when Obama had actually, made it law that net neutrality would be enforceable, why didn't most of these platforms that we all use and consume, why didn't they advocate harder for it?
If I'm not mistaken,
because at the end of the day, the platforms are going to lose.
If I'm not mistaken,
they're going to lose to the ISPs, because if I'm on YouTube, I still have to hop on the internet with a cable provider. You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't YouTube or Facebook or any of these big platforms be more like, yo, net neutrality?
If I'm not mistaken, help me with this story, because I know you're familiar with it.
Yes, sir.
Tesla had a plan to. No, I'm not sure if it was Tesla. Tesla wants to give electricity to everybody.
Yeah, solar
He
city.
actually had technology.
It's called Solar City,
where you would screw in a light bulb.
Oh, you mean Tesla, like the real Tesla?
Yeah, the real Tesla.
Okay. Yeah.
You screw on darn near a light bulb into the ground and you'd have light.
For sure.
Like, it was a crazy idea. They pretty much shut him down, if I'm not mistaken, killed him, because they knew what he was going to do.
Yeah.
So when you see those Tesla cars changing the game, these electric cars that go faster than gasoline cars and get better mileage and look better, that's part of the brand being so further ahead. In Los Angeles, they were actually going to implement subway systems, public transportation that would get you from the Valley to downtown LA to Garden Grove to Anaheim. These things were going to be all over the system. Ford, all the vehicle departments came in and shut that down because it said, whoa, we're trying to sell cars.
Yeah.
People won't buy cars if you set up these railroad systems, you set up these subways, this underground unit in which you see all through Europe.
So let's get to it.
All through Europe.
The question is,
when I talk about net neutrality, it's a similar take in which the cable providers, the ESPNs of the world, the HBOs of the world, these companies that are fighting to say, whoa, you guys are streaming millions of dollars that we paid out to create Game of Thrones, to create all these different shows.
Not exactly.
Let me finish. we need people to watch cable.
Uh-huh.
We're paying a lot of money to put our stuff on cable, and we expect this to come back. So if you guys have Wi-Fi, you're going to trend towards not having cable service.
Okay.
So, whoa, you can't crash our deal. You can't mess our money up. That's
But
what's happening.
That's not exactly right. That's not exactly right because when you have a cable package, you have all those channels. You have 1,000 channels or whatever, 500 channels, whatever. And so in that channel package, you have the ESPN, the HBO. They're already paid just by you buying the package. So regardless if HBO,
Stop it, bro.
Hold on. Regardless
Stop.
if HBO made Game of Thrones or not, like you're still paying for that package. So if you don't pay for the package, yeah, I mean at the end of the day, yeah,
Hey,
it would affect HBO down the line. But also HBO has a streaming platform.
And you actually have to
ESPN
sign
has
in with
they have a
your
streaming
cable platform just to be able to see it. So cut that, kill that.
That's not true.
Yes, you do. You have
No.
to sign in with your.
No,
if
I
you
don't.
go onto your
Apple
ESPN app
Music.
and you try to watch a game,
Apple.
you have to sign in or you have to buy a separate package. It's streaming.
No, I have HBO and I pay for it with my Apple subscription.
So you're paying for it then.
Yeah, what do you mean?
You're paying for it.
What does that have to do with anything, though? I don't understand.
You're still getting somewhat of those cable dollars, or it's making up where it's not there. So they have to sell it in a different way, which you're starting to get hip to.
You're making my point, though.
Stop it.
You're
No, I'm not.
You're making the point because I'm not talking about cable. I'm talking about internet. That's what we're talking about. Net neutrality, the speed of internet. We're not talking about cable. That's a completely different thing.
What I'm saying is it's a part of cable.
If I'm watching HBO on internet, yeah, I'm paying the cable provider, the ISP. My question to you, which you have not answered, is why do you think HBO, Hulu, Netflix, whatever company that
What does cable also provide?
whatever company that has a platform, how come they weren't advocating for net neutrality harder? That's the question.
Akili, what does cable also already provide? So people can still watch cable.
You cannot answer my
Cable
question with a
provides
question.
internet. Cable provides internet. They still want you to have to watch cable. There's a lot of money behind
I don't know.
cable.
I don't know what story you're covering.
And people
I don't know what story you're covering.
Listen.
But that's not answering the question, my man.
I did answer.
Okay,
you said why isn't net neutrality just common sense out everywhere, right?
No.
Why isn't it just in California? Why is it still not
No,
gone
that
through?
wasn't the question. The question was when net neutrality was actually a law passed by in the Obama presidency, how come when it was turned over by the Trump presidency, how come there wasn't a lot of platforms that were really advocating for net neutrality? That's what I'm asking you. Why do you think?
They want to keep their money. They want to keep their money. Cable
YouTube,
companies sell.
YouTube,
Cable
brother,
companies
Facebook.
sell.
How are they keeping their money?
You're going to be on YouTube regardless. You're going to be on YouTube regardless.
Not
You're going to get on
if
things
my
regardless.
speed is messed up. No, I'm not. That's the whole point. If I can't get the right internet speed to watch the videos, how am I going to be
you're
on
just
there?
getting on a lot slower. And the one things about
why would YouTube
the
want
one
that?
thing about the Facebooks, they definitely don't want that. Don't put those words in their
That's
mouth.
my
They
point.
definitely don't
so
want
why
that.
weren't they advocating for it? Is my point.
Their numbers still ain't been hurt. They ain't been hurt as much. The big fish who's getting hurt right now is cable.
The answer is you don't know.
No, cable's getting hurt a lot more than Facebook because if you've ever been to Facebook, if you've ever been to Google, you understand on those platforms, their apps, their search engines, their internet usage is equipped to work everywhere from a 5G, whatever megahertz, the fastest speed on earth, all the way down to a 2G connection.
That's not cable.
So they're equipped.
That's not ISP.
You asked me why they're not fighting for net neutrality because they have equipped themselves to be able to work and function on lower speeds.
That's not true because all of these companies are setting up their own platforms that you can watch television. YouTube wants to be a TV company. Hulu wants to be a TV company. Netflix wants to be a TV company. They're
right now they don't
pushing
mind
television.
Right now they don't mind you paying for
We're
it.
gonna be in a 4K space, bro. To be able to watch 4K and up, which it'll eventually grow to, you're gonna need fast internet. So I mean, I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, a lot of stuff is done on a mobile, but you're not watching like high-res movies on your phone. You're just not doing it. But anyway, we're gonna switch it up. Are you an Alexa owner?
I am.
What do you got? You got the Dot or you got the whole shebang, or you got both?
I have both. I have the Dot, and I got the bigger one.
Okay.
I got the bigger one.
So this is the story. So I've experienced this myself. Not exactly this, but I've experienced something like this, where my Alexa will just talk without being prompted. So the story is that there's a lot of people that have the Alexa that will just be in their crib doing nothing, and Alexa will have like a creepy laugh and just laugh like out of nowhere. And like, so Amazon is aware of it. They're going to fix it. But like, this is some crazy stuff. And so a lot of people are saying that it makes them think of the 2001 Space Odyssey when HAL 9000 turns evil, or just like the AI like getting smarter than the human and doing crazy stuff and being able to outthink the human. This is like the first step of that. And so I've experienced it personally, where the Alexa would be like, "No, your appointment is not at that time." Like, I didn't even say anything to you, Alexa. It's been quiet in the house. Why are you even talking? Question is Alexa always listening? And why do you think that's happening? Why do you think Alexa just talks randomly?
For one, it's kind of a played out, I don't want to say a played out device, but it's still not crafted the way it should be. And it's easy for me to not use that thing in months. When you first get it, it's like, oh, I can ask this, lights on, lights off. Like, this is the only thing I say, and I actually use the Google Home because I got that system connected a lot easier, and I just say, hey, turn the lights off, turn the lights on, and it actually picks up a lot better than that Alexa. So they send in that little secret software update that says laugh, so that the person recognizes you and wants to talk to you. I was having a conversation.
You think it's strategic?
Absolutely. Well, I was having a conversation. Listen, bro, I was having a conversation the other day, and I'm going to show you this picture, and I'm going to see if we can get this online. And I was talking to somebody about, hey, if we're doing and I had a phone conversation with my partner, Rick Bucher. We do a Swirl podcast together, right? And I was saying, hey, if I run across a player and we get in person, should we be able to do a phone interview? Or can I just take my phone and connect with the person? And he was saying, well, how would I do that? He said, well, you can just get some earbuds and connect, or you can do, there's a number of different things. I go on one of my apps. I swear to God, I can't make this up. This shows up through an Amazon ad. They listened to the phone conversation I had, literally pulled the content through keywords or whatnot, and the exact device, I don't know if you can see, pops up in a search on my phone.
So it's the feds?
These people listen, bro. So what you're saying on your phone in your conversation
Absolutely.
is Amazon, bro.
Absolutely.
To where this is just uncanny. Like, it's not even like, it's like, for real, like, it's not even funny.
You feel violated?
I did. I felt very violated. Yeah. I've already accepted the fact that they can hear anything they want. They can see what they want. I'm the most boring person to listen to.
I agree.
So it's nice that you kind of give me my ads, but it definitely feels like, and I know it's like a violation of space, but I've just accepted,
100%.
man, that they do it, bro. And if they want to do it and you tell them not to do it,
they're going to do it more.
They're still going to do it.
Of course, man. Well, yeah, I definitely believe that, and that's why
you don't seem freaked out by me showing you that.
No. I was just thinking, like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
This was significant, and I never had this conversation before. Hey, Rick, what should I do if I run across somebody? Oh, you can plug in your phone, and there's something you can do, and you guys can both have earbuds, or there's a speaker or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And this show, I've never seen the device in my life.
Man, that's wild. That's wild, man. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, and I think that's why this story is kind of interesting, because it's like, hey, Alexa, like, are you on my command, or are you actually spying?
Am I on yours?
Exactly. Wow. Well, anyway, shifting gears.
You had an experience like that?
Nah, not as crazy as that. But this next story is pretty cool. I want to get your take on it, because it could be like another ethical thing. So we talk about AI, we talk about robots and their ability to function in our society and be able to do things that help us have more efficient lives. And so we've talked a lot on the show about autonomous vehicles, but also we talked about robots that are replacing humans in terms of certain jobs. And one of the jobs is working in a burger spot, a burger stand, and having the robot actually flip the burgers. And so, so the argument is, the robot is able to do it way more efficiently. It can flip burgers tirelessly. It doesn't get tired. It does it like it's timed. It's precise. Like, it helps, give the customer a quick burger. They don't have to wait. There's no human error, but on the flip side, it's taking away jobs. So where do you stand on this?
Robot needs to flip the burgers.
Tell me why.
You need to find another job, man. You need to get with the times. You need to find another job, man. That's everybody's hustle, man. There's always going to be somebody competing or trying to get your job or step in on what you have. And I know one thing, McDonald's doesn't give a darn. These companies don't give a darn. But somebody's got to put the patty in there. It would just lessen that a robot can do the job that 2 or 3 people have. And some of these companies will bite the bullet in that you're going to have to have somebody competent enough to use these robots. Or if you lessen your company or your establishment down to 1 or 2 people working where you had a staff of 10 or so or more, you're going to hurt from that. You can't substitute customer service or somebody's going to be overwhelmed. So less is more.
But where does it stop? Like, because then when the robot is able to provide the customer service, then what?
If you don't get hit with the times, I don't have a compassion for you necessarily. You know, we might not need janitors. You know what I'm saying? It might be one person connected with a robot that just lets the little thing just start cleaning away.
So do you think there will be a time where we don't need anything? Meaning that there's a robot that can do anything a human can?
Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. The way advancements are going, potentially, yes.
And what do you think
far
about
off?
that?
Very, very far off.
Definitely not far off. In our lifetime, bro. In our lifetime, for sure.
I don't think in our lifetime. I think we're gonna see something crazy.
50 years from now, you don't think that there's gonna be
something
robots
crazy.
that can do what we can do? 50 years from now, bro. 50 years ago, we didn't have any of this. 50 years from now, it's gonna be a crazy different landscape.
Food for that. Food for that. It's gonna be something crazy. It may not be the future in which we see of the flying car and all that. We can't say that it won't be. But right now, I don't necessarily see it. But I do see. I don't know if you saw, there was a viral video going around of a robot that did a series of backflips.
Yeah, I seen
and
it.
landed them. So
With precision.
with precision.
Yeah.
So no, we're getting there. It's just the proper program. But there's so many millions of commands, bro.
See,
the commands are
this is
going to
where
have to get easier.
This is where I disagree with you, because there's been a science fiction and technological theory that has been around for a long time. It's called technological singularity, and is when the single moment where our computer systems, our artificial intelligence becomes smarter than us. It becomes so smart that it can create itself. And we are in that time. And so these science theorists said that it would happen around 2025, 2030, which is only like 10 years away, within 10 years away, where the AI will be so sophisticated that it could figure out how it was made itself and then recreate itself better. And so we're talking about 50 years from now, and you don't believe that the AI technology won't be as sophisticated where it could be like two of you, like we just talked about altered carbon. Like, no, that is not far-fetched.
I love it, but I don't see the day where we become obsolete.
But that's the thing, same thing. That's like someone saying,
And
I
I'm
don't see the
saying
day where I can't flip burgers.
in the sense where a robot can create another robot without a human.
Oh, I definitely see it.
I don't see that. Maybe it's mass produced off of something that I programmed or we put in, but to where it starts to train itself.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Really?
I don't see that
So
day
you don't,
coming.
you don't, I mean, you don't,
I don't think
you don't see the Matrix?
where you've created the conscience, where you've created the understanding. I think
Definitely.
whatever I
Definitely, bro.
program, it will be able to do, but to where it's coming back to me.
We're talking about machines that have a processing speed that's faster than our brains,
Facts.
that can process mathematical equations in seconds, milliseconds, that will take us minutes,
I think
hours.
they become very dynamic. I think ridiculously dynamic, but they'll still need a programmer. I don't think the robots would need their own programmer. I don't think that day comes, bro.
It comes.
I don't think it comes.
It comes,
I know
man.
the theory. I understand it. It's that worst, mad scientist part of the movie.
It's the Frankenstein.
I love it. I love it because it's like it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
In the HBO one, it had that also. I hate not saying the name.
Called Westworld?
Westworld,
Yeah.
same concept in Westworld. But I don't think that day comes, brother.
Oh, it definitely comes. It definitely comes.
How do you say definitely?
Because
you're just assuming.
No,
so it's going to create itself.
Yes, I'll explain it. Because the way that when you look at the processors that are being built or that were being built 20, 30, 40 years ago, and how expensive they were and large they were, and the processing power that was put into them to have these big computers that will fill up rooms to just do like basic tasks that we now have on our phone. And you fast forward 50 years from now, and we're talking about processing in a way that a human could never do. And so if a machine can think through things that humans can no longer do, the machine has the potential to think for itself. And so easily a machine can outthink its program easily, especially if you program it to be a thinker.
So let me give you another thing. That's somewhat saying, and I'm gonna hit you. This is deep right now. That's almost saying like, that's almost like saying, one day we'll outthink God,
bro.
Our Creator.
It'll be.
Now, we've given a lot, but we're really far away from that.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that because what I believe, and I don't want to get too deep on like spirituality, but
that's what we are to the computer.
What I believe is that we are manifestations of the manifestor, God, right? And so God gave us that manifesting quality to manifest things. And so it's the same trickle down effect. So if we can manifest something that can also create itself, it's definitely a part of that trickle down. And I don't see it as far fetched. I see it definitely in the realm of possibility. Like I said, in my lifetime, I can see a machine that's able to make decisions. Like we talk about the autonomous vehicle being able to navigate around a hazard faster than
That's not the question. It's not in question, though.
Hold on. Autonomous vehicle able to navigate around a hazard, but right now doesn't have the ethical understanding to not hit the child that's in the middle of the street versus hit the dog. I believe the machine will one day have that ability to be able to decide.
That now.
No. Machine can't decide, hey, I'm gonna hit the dog versus hit the girl. Machine can't do that.
They do.
No.
What do you I just got in a Google car, bro, and I watched it differentiate between a child, a car, an object.
That's not what
Talk
I'm saying.
to me.
If there's a dog and a little girl in the street and it has to hit one, it's not going to be able to say hit the dog. Right now,
yeah, bro,
it doesn't have the sophistication to do that.
They're putting that. They don't trust it. They don't trust it. It's probably not battle ready because they don't want to see a human get killed in the process. Bro, but it's there, bro.
I don't know that.
I actually got in.
That's news to me.
So listen. I'm in the Google car. It's driving itself. Right now, there's a safety. There's a guy with his hand right here just on the wheel, nervous as heck. And I was in a situation, this is wild because I bring that up, that's what I say. There's a man and his son, and they're on a bicycle, and they're driving down the street, and we're at Google, and we're in the car, and the thing, there's this big kind of like monitor up the system that they have, and it's showing. And it's shooting out these frequencies out the car. Boom, 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 boom. And you can see the little boy on the dill. And you can see the car. But the question would be, if the little boy for right now takes that uncalculated fall while driving, am I going the proper miles per hour for that AI or for the car not to roll over the little boy? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So these things show up. It's showing arms, it's showing legs, it's showing certain human patterns right now.
We're on the pathway, but there's no way. We don't have the technology where any computer can make an ethical decision. That has not been created yet. I don't know what.
You can simply say not a human being. Four-legged versus two-legged.
Yeah, but
human being is priority.
How will they know that the girl's not on her knees or like she's laid out? How would the machine know that?
Bone structure.
Anyway,
mathematics, bone structure.
You talk about us playing God. Like we've already have the technology to be able to clone ourselves. So and for us to be able to make a machine that can be better than us, that technology.
We haven't cloned ourselves, Akili.
We have the technology to be able to clone, bro.
We would have done it. No, man is too.
We've cloned animals before. What are you talking about?
We would have done it, dog.
We've cloned animals before.
Not a human being.
Yeah, but
we would have done it.
The point is that we don't create animals. We don't give birth to pigs.
We would have done it, dog.
You're not listening. You're just talking. We don't give birth to pigs, but we've been able to make a pig. How? Technology. So the point is that's playing God. So if you could do that with an animal that has a heart and a brain and lungs that didn't come out of another pig's body, it came out of a test tube. We created it in a laboratory. So if that technology is right now, that technology has been around for years. It's not perfected. And it's not ethical. Like it's not on the market, but people have been able to do it.
Has man cared about ethical?
The point is that it's not a. The point is that we are not that far from a machine being able to do that as well.
I don't agree.
That's fine. We have two more stories.
I don't think that people care about being ethical.
Oh, they definitely don't.
And I feel like we can both, safe to say, agree. There's a mad scientist in there that's chopping and killing and doing whatever he's trying to do.
But you not agreeing does not disprove that the facts, what the facts say. The facts
Give me
say,
the facts.
the facts say, if you look at technology, the technology movement, going even all the way back to Luddites who are anti-technologists back into the early 1900s, anti-technology because of what you're saying, because of the risk, the hazard of developing a technology that gets you farther away from being connected to nature. So, or destroying nature through your technology. So that was a Luddite philosophy. But you fast forward to now, 2018, you have to look at the processing power, how cheap it is, how efficient it is, and it's only going to get better.
I agree to that. I agree to that. I just don't think we'll get to the point where you don't need a programmer. But I agree to that. I see we advance.
But if I train the computer to be a programmer, what do you mean? A better programmer than me?
I've got to see that. I believe that you won't make my flaws after I wrote the system. Maybe you can check over what I've done.
Think about what
but
you
will
just
you
said.
independently create what I've created? Now, maybe you
just-
check
you
out
just said
your
you
helper.
saw a video of a robot doing backflips.
Facts.
Almost more precise than a human doing it.
Yeah.
So a human programmed the robot to do it better than the human.
True.
So how about that same process happen for another 50 years? You mean to tell me that that robot's not going to be smarter than the human eventually?
I don't think that is going to step in and take the role because it took so much time. I think it's going to be simpler, and you're going to see these things walk and move like human beings, like with the exact movement and patterns, but all within programming. I just don't see the need for a programmer to be gone. I don't see the ability of the robot, even with the functions and moving and technology and internet access, to be able to work and access things and create. I don't see robots being a creator. Conceptually, I understand what you're saying. I just don't see it without us telling it what to do, because we're pretty much saying it's going to act independent.
But that's the whole point of the theory. There's going to be a point in time where the technology says, "Wait a minute, I don't need you no more." That's the whole point. And that's why theorists are saying we have to be careful. Even Elon Musk said it. We have to be careful with what we're building technology with AI, because it could either go a good direction where it can help us, or it could go a bad direction. It's right there. Like all the main dudes in technology think about this.
And
they talk about this.
And we can both agree that there's a mad dude somewhere who could give a darn about what you feel, and he's trying to make it.
Weaponize it.
He's trying to, he's doing all that and more right now
100%.
with whatever risk, and we haven't seen it.
Well, I'll tell you this much. We got two stories before we get out of here. I want to throw this to you. March Madness is coming up, right?
Facts.
I know you're a big March Madness guy. I mean, shoot, you went all the way to the Final Four, UCLA.
Final game, dog.
Final game. Man, I saw you just make that post the other day, too.
My dude.
Anyway,
My dude.
Pizza Hut is doing a publicity stunt called Pie Tops. I don't know if you've seen this. Like High Tops, they had a pizza shoe that is tomato color and wheat color. And they've made 50 of these shoes. And what's dope about the shoe is that you could actually you order a pizza by
I knew you were about to say that. I
touching
knew you were about to
tongue-
say that.
The tongue of the shoe, you could order a pizza and the pizza will be delivered, and you could actually pause the television. It acts like a remote control with the other shoelace, the shoe tongue rather. So what do you think about this? You grabbing one of these, bruh?
They better be glad they only made
Size 16.
They only made 50 of them.
Oh, man.
Is there a brand?
Bruh.
Is it
Tell me that's
Reebok?
not fresh, bruh. It's Pizza Hut. It's the Pizza Hut's Pie Top, bruh.
I mean, LeVar Ball making shoes. Pizza Hut was like, hey, we're into.
Oh, man.
It's a gimmick, bro.
It's a gimmick.
But
it's funny, though. It's funny.
What I do like, though, Akili, on a serious note,
Yes,
is crossing over.
What's that?
Pizza Hut's stepping into the shoe game, stepping into the viral game. Viral game may step into the pizza game, may step into the sports game. All these boundaries that we once thought were there aren't there the same way. And maybe this runs. Maybe it creates another shoe company. Maybe it creates more jobs, which I say, man, computer, go ahead and flip the burgers. Let's use our creativity, man, and create and mold and blend and make other jobs, because somebody's going to have to put those shoes together.
Hey.
Somebody's going to have to deliver the pizza. You know, we're just making different We're just making different types of jobs.
Pretty much. No, I hear what you're saying. All right, last story before we dip on out of here. Talk about Magic Leap a few times on this show, and Magic Leap is a company that is a startup company that is really delving deep into the augmented reality space. So I don't know if you've seen the mock product, but we talk about virtual reality, augmented reality all the time, and Oculus being owned by Facebook, and different other brands that are in this space. But Magic Leap has raised over $2.3 billion to help develop their product. So they're trying to do like the dopest headgear for virtual reality that's out. And so we don't know what they're necessarily developing. They've been very just the way they've kind of like blocked the public from seeing what they're doing. But they have a shitload of money. My question is, do you think that this company is going to be the company that really gets it right as it relates to virtual reality?
I'm looking at their glasses, and they have a little more transparency to them.
This may not even be what it is.
Yeah, it may be a joke.
Exactly.
I think that after using the virtual reality that I've used, I know we did that over at E3, and all the virtual realities trying to pop up and get into the gaming world. I've also gone down to Facebook, done the Oculus deal, their whole little tester, and this is what's posed. This is the major hurdle. Nausea, falling over, not knowing where you are, using it for 15 minutes, and then you're dizzy as heck, bro. So you almost have to have something translucent to where you can see where you are, but you're still in that world, you're in that space. So maybe you still have to go into a dark room or a green screen or something to just kind of have your bearings on your feet, but you're somewhat in that world. And I think that will be the answer. Just pay me when you still use my idea when we drop this episode. Just give me some props. That's all I ask. Let me use it. Give me something for free. But that's the big hurdle. That's the huge hurdle. Having it look like HD, having it look like real life,
100.
Being able to watch the movie. So I think we'll have to paint these black or green or whatever rooms in our home, and then we'll throw the glasses on, and it's going to have somewhat of a translucent look rather than just a full black, because I'm dizzy as heck.
Super dizzy.
I do that for 15 minutes, right?
Yeah,
What was your experience like?
Bruh, I felt like I want to vomit. Like you said,
Facts.
nausea. I felt like I was going to pass out.
Wow.
You start sweating.
Vertigo.
Vertigo, exactly. And I'm just sitting down.
No, imagine using it every day.
Exactly.
I'm sure they got some test dummies that are doing it every day or a full day of it, and they're getting bugged out in the head, bro.
Exactly why video games. To tie it all in, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Like we talked about last show, video games, bro.
Video games are a lot. No, I'm with it. No, I'm not fighting that it doesn't. I just will agree to disagree that I think music is a deeper element. I think they all tie in. That's cool.
No, it does.
Facts.
All forms of outside media has some influence on our brain.
They're the Band-Aids.
100%. Hey, man, well, that's all we got, bro. I really appreciate you coming through. Man, you giving some great takes. Got you in the hot seat, and you just knocking them down.
My dog, man.
Where can the people find you, man?
I need a one. Is that the one right there? Listen, man, at the Ryan Hollins on Twitter, Ryan Hollins on Instagram. Hit me up. I need your reaction. I'm not me without you. Appreciate y'all.
Yo, and shout out what you're doing, man. I know you're doing a lot of other different broadcast stuff.
I'm all over this place, man. I'm trying to dip into the community as always. Ryan Hollins Camp, doing my broadcasting all over the place. ESPN, Fox, Stadium, any of these networks. I got a swirl with my man Rick Bucher, a podcast called The Swirl, better yet. Pod in here, Geek Nerd Tech. We are all over the place, man. So check up the social media for the updates, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. And we appreciate everybody listening and watching. Definitely check me out as well. Keely Shine on Twitter and Instagram at AKILISHINE. And we will be here next week. Hold it down. Yeah.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.